Hello, everyone, and welcome back to A&T Neuro Educational Webinar Series. My name is Farnoosh Safavi. I'm the head of education department here at A&T, and I'm excited to be moderating another insightful session, this time on toward the benchmark for meditation depths, EEG signatures, and neurocorrelates. This webinar will be presented by Dr. Chuong Ngo, who is the Director of Meditation Center at All Here in Switzerland, where he leads interdisciplinary studies on meditation and brain function. Trained as a biomedical engineer with deep expertise in EEG and biosignal analysis, he is also an experienced meditator with decades of personal practice across traditions. His research focuses on oscillations and attention network activation to develop scientific tools for assessing meditation depths and advancing contemplative training. Before we dive into this webinar, just a few quick housekeeping notes as always. In the course of the presentation, you will have the chance to type your questions, which will be addressed at the end of the session as far as the timing allows. And after the presentation, we'll watch a short relevant demo prepared by A&T Neuro Customer Success team. So, Chuong, we appreciate you accepting our invitation and being with us here today. And without further ado, we're all ears to listen to your insights about the neurocorrelates of meditation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fanos, for your welcome and very nice introduction. I'm from On Here. I'm working on the meditation research, and I'm very happy that we get a chance to join your webinar of A&T. So let me start the talk. Sorry. So we are at working at All Here in Geneva, in Switzerland. All Here is the place where meditation meets science and technologies. We are a meditation-centric organization with 3 core foundations. We working on the practice, inspiring people to practice meditation, and we are developing a meditation program called the Silent Mind Practice. We're focusing on helping people to achieving the silent mind and reducing the mental noise. We think it's very important for us in our modern society that we get less distracted from all the mental noise around us. It's thinking about young people using most of their time playing around with smartphones and social media. I think it is important for us now to not to give the people, not to get the company and concerned our attention, but to win back the attention and forward into ourselves, our inner self. To achieve this goal, we use the scientific tool. We aim to create objective trackers to measure the depth of the meditation practice. And we would like to generate quantify meditation reports for people who started their journeys on meditation and getting confusing. What should I do? What should I learn? How can I track my progress of meditation? We will give them a tool to understand and to track their progress. In technologies, we are working in the field of EEG neurotechnologies, of the brain-computer interface to give a neurofeedback to people. And we also develop virtual reality scenarios, which help mostly beginners and young people who are not familiar with meditations. They can use the virtual reality scenario and to get an easy access to practice meditation. This will be another topic. It will be another topic of today, but if you are interested on virtual reality, you can go and check on our website. So let me talk a little bit about meditation. Maybe some of the audience have some deep experience in meditation. Some of you may be teachers. Some of you may have have a daily practice, or some of you have never tried meditation before. In the Western world, we understand meditation in a very simple way. Like, okay, let's just sitting down there and try to not to think about anything. This is actually correct, but it's just a part of a very complex contemplative activities which have been practiced and developed over more than 2,000 years in many traditions all around the world. That we talk a little bit about the different stages when you will get through when you started your meditation journeys. At the beginning, you will probably dealing with some physical levels of the body. You have probably bends in the bodies. You have bends in the legs. You try to sit in the correct posture, and it will take a little bit time to get used to that. And when you get used to that, you can sit down calmly. Then you will start to the meditation. Let's say you want to do breath mindfulness, just to focus on the breath and try not to be distracted out of that. You will be very quickly find this is very difficult to not to my wonder. It's the next one moment you think you will feel like, oh, I'm in my project in the future, in work project, or I'm going back to the past talking with my family, husband, wife, children, whatever, it's all going up. And this is a very nature process of meditation. First, we need to calm our mind as well. And it's time will pass by, maybe a couple of days, then you will be able to focus more or less on the attention, on the object of meditation, on the breath. And this is a hard work because you still might wander. And then this is, you need to put a lot of effort into trying to stay on the object of meditation. You need to stay there. This will take you maybe another week, even months, to do that, depending how much determination and the environment where you're sitting. But then after a while, you will feel yourself, you will find yourself in a state of an effortless concentration. This is the reward of the hard work you have done before. You will find yourself the mind could be easily resting nicely on the object of meditation. And it feels very, very beautiful. And the mind becomes so calm and we'll be able to stay just there on the meditation object. And if you can keep this stay even deeper and deeper, as one moment the mind becomes so one with the object, one pointedness, one directionality, and then the mind starts to be absorbed into the object. And then you experience the first moment of the altered state of consciousness. We call it the absorption state. I will talk about it in another slide later. And later on, if you continue to do this for many, many years later, then you start to dissolve in yourself and you enter even a deeper state of consciousness. From the scientific point of view, we ask ourselves the questions, can this mind state be observed by the scientific tools, and are we be able to track meditation depth with the scientific tools we have? The science we're working on to understand meditation is called contemplative science. It has started a couple of years ago in 1983 when the Dalai Lama came to the West and have a meeting with different scientists from the Western world. He asking the questions. You scientists from the West, you have been researching on the negative part of the brain of the mind, the anxiety, depression. Why don't you start to work on the positive effect of the mind, like compassion, mindfulness? And this is the point when contemplative science was started. First with Francesco Valera, then with Richard Davidson, John Kabat-Zinn. They are famous people who are working on the field of contemplative science. At the beginning, people are looking into the health benefit of meditation. This is helping me to live my life better, reduce stress reduction, more compassion. And then we move to the brain mechanism behind these health benefits. In the last couple of years, we are entering a new area of this is a researcher from Harvard call it the third wave of meditation research, where it is not about stress reduction anymore. It's about unlocking the highest riches of human potential. It's a way that we really try to understand the deep state of the mind, the altered state of the mind created by meditation. Will bring us a lot of understanding about benefits of understand the human mind. So what are they? Deep meditation, deep meditative state, they are profound and rare. Yet they are mentioned in every major religious and spiritual traditions in the world. In some yogic traditions, we have the samadhi state, where it's the unity between the mind, the body, and the soul. In the Buddhist tradition, we have the jhana state, where the mind absorb it into the object and become one, where the see, the sin, and the process of seeing become one. And later on, you have the nibbana state, when the mind realizes the truth, the silent, and relating to the text, it will change the entire life, entire consciousness, entire the way, the personality, the way you look into the world and look into yourself. In Indian, Tibetan Buddhism, we have the inner light or the pure consciousness, where the consciousness is able to observe itself without any kind of distraction and fluctuation of the mind. In Christianity, in Sufism, in Islam, in Judaism, we have similar deep state like theosis, fana, and devakut. This is described as the unity of the individual mind with God. Actually, God is in this case the object of meditation. I'm merging myself with God. In our organization, we follow the scientific methods called the mixed methods research, which we combine the first person, the second person, and the third person reporting to understand the phenomenology, the phenomenon what we are facing during meditation. So we asked people, the participants, to sit and meditate. So we normally compare between the baseline and meditation. And after the section, we have an interview with them, and they report their phenomenon they have experienced during the section, and also fill some subjective questionnaires so that we can understand the section better. The second person report is a little bit more difficult. It's not always possible that we have the teacher on expert in the traditions with an expert and know the practice of the participant, the student very well, and can tell us more details about the practice. In some of our study, we have the chance to work together with the teacher, and this is very useful to have this chance. And the third person reporting is our technology with EEG and ECG and respiration. We applied 64-channel EEG for an ANT to measure the brain activity during the meditation session. So, and for that, we need a lot of data, and we need to engage with meditation tradition in all around the world. We have been traveling to different places to record meditators. And in August last year, we was invited to the Jhana teacher retreat in the UK. This was in the Thai forest tradition. The people in this tradition are very experienced. They have more than 40 to 50 years of experience meditating and teaching in the tradition, and was able to enter the jhanas as described in the tradition's text. And we also have some visits from teachers from PAOK. This is another highly respected traditions in Myanmar, which also practicing jhanas and vipassana in the Theravāda traditions. We did some recording trips to Tokyo and Kamakura, and engaging with people who practice Zazen and other Japanese meditation practice. India is a big country of meditators. We have spent some time traveling around India to engaging with different traditions. For example, the Pyramid Valley Meditation Center, who did Anapanasati, mindfulness of the breath. In India, we was able to do a few recording trips there with over 23 participants. Then we went to the Tibetan monastery in Sirajay. This is the place in South India where the Tibetan, the monks are staying when they left Tibet a couple of many years ago, and they create their monastery there, and we are able to to win trust from the Tibetan and learn from the tradition, and they was able to share with us some data and also some deep practice of their sacred practice. We have some visit from the Brahmakumaris, a big tradition in India, visit in Geneva, and collaborate with us to do some recording on meditation sessions. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the technical part of that. We use the EEG 64 channels. EEG is well known to capture the electrical activities on the skin of the head, and giving us a signal, a EEG signal, continuous over the time. If we look into this signal is a superposition of different frequencies that are known as the brain waves. So we're talking about slow wave, from slow wave to delta wave to theta wave and alpha wave and beta and gamma wave, and each of them become faster and faster, and each of them has the different roles. When I'm talking with you right now, and when you are paying attention and listen to my voice, that we are mostly in the beta. In the beta frequencies is the state when we are awake and we have some alert consciousness when we're thinking and getting excitement. When after this talk, when you close your computer and you close your eyes and you go to some relaxation, physically and mentally, then you will have increase in alpha, which is in the relaxation response, and related also to mind wandering as well. When the frequency becomes slower and slower, you will go into a drowsiness, and more like a hypnotic state and light sleep. Then we have some theta wave, and if you go into a deep sleep and a loss of bodily awareness, you will have some delta and some even infraslow wave. This is slower than delta. On the opposite, if you are in the heightened alertness, perception, for example, you doing a mathematical proving or examination, then the brain becomes very fast and you are in the gamma wave. Let me show you one very impressive data from one of our meditators, an expert yogic meditators, who is special about him that he can enter the samadhis on will. He has over than 20 years of experience, and he went to India and he talked with yogic meditation teachers and researchers, and they confirmed that he entering the samadhi and were able to go in and go out on will. That's how we design also the measurement. He should perform a baseline measurement for 5 minutes. Then he conduct different samadhi state, what he called the silent state, when he go in and go out. Let me turn on the laser. So here this is the moment when he pressed the button, and you can see with a naked eye that when he went into the silent state or the samadhi state, that the data look with the naked eye is very different from the baseline what we normally see in normal EEG data. And when he go out again, this is the baseline. This is look completely different than when this person was in the silent state. Looking into the time frequency analysis, so we have in the x-axis the time and the y-axis the frequency. So between slow wave and gamma wave, as I talked before, and we can see that here during the baseline, the alpha frequencies were dominated for resting state during baseline, as we were talking before. And when he pressed the button, he entered the silent, the alpha was completely suppressed, disappear completely. And it took around 20 minutes. During the 20 minutes, his respiration, his breath was also stopped, almost stopped. Then it takes him another 20 seconds or 30 seconds, then the infraslow starts to develop and stay there on over the time. After a while, then the gamma and the beta also come into appear as well. This pattern is repeatedly over all the session, which gives us a very robust pattern to look into one of the very deep states of yogic practice, the samadhi state. So this state where the alpha at the beginning of 20 seconds, when the alpha was completely removed, suppressed, you can see it's also from here. In black, you see the baseline where the alpha was still there and mostly on the occipital part of the brain. And in the silent state, first and the second, there's two sections of the silent when we see that the alpha was completely removed from the baseline. And he described the state as Yoga Chitta Viti Nirodha. It's written in the Yoga Sutra, means this is the silent, means yoga is the cessation of the mental fluctuations. The mind becomes so quiet and precisely stay with the present. By performing some source localization, we can find that the place where this alpha suppression happens is in the PCC, posterior singular cortex. This is the brain area which reflects the focal attention when the mind is completely focal on one point. And in this point, this case, this the silent, the presence of the silence. And after 20 seconds after that, we observed increase in slow wave dynamics. Slow waves normally only found in deep sleep and in coma. So it's the first time that we see that in the meditators who can produce brainwave in awake state and even on will, so he can really just do it. And during this moment, he reported to have a rising of the energy sensation in the body. So the way he say that is he sends some energy in the lower belly, where it starts to raise vertically to the top and stay in the front, and then later on going burst into the head, into the outside. So it's like mostly in the picture of here, which is I took it from the description from the Tummo practice in the Tibetan. So there's similarity between the yogic and the Tummo practice in this case. What is interesting here that when we do the source localization, then the source is can be found in the PCC, the hippocampal gyrus and the brainstem, which is actually very close to the autonomous nervous system of the people. So it has something to do with the parasympathetic activation of the body. Also interesting that when we look at the topography of the signal during this state, then we say that the entire signal is focusing on one electrode on the top of the head only. This phenomenon is fascinating, and it was reported in another group in the UK as well. So this is a confirmation that we can that the EEG was able to capture the activation of energetic verticality in the body during meditation sections. So then let's go to a Theravāda Buddhist practice who enter the deep meditative state called the jhana state. I recall that jhanas was an absorption of the mind into object of meditation. So this is the teacher in the tradition, and the way he did the meditation was first he count the breath, then he follows the breath, then he touched the breath, and then he settling the breath into the jhanas, which merging his mind into the breath, and then going deeper to second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. I will not go into details of describing the jhanas with you because it will take a lot of time. But what we can see here that the deeper he went into the jhanas, the absorption, we see a certain decrease of the alpha along the way. So it's a confirmation for us that the alpha suppression in this case means a very deep, vividly engaging of the mind into the one point object, whatever he's choosing as object of meditation. The second figure is down here is another person who did jhana and vipassana. So the jhana is not that much interesting because the person didn't have alpha at all, and even during the baseline. So that's we don't see any alpha suppression because alpha was already very low. But interesting in this person that when she did the Vipassana meditation, Vipassana is very fast investigating of the phenomenon which is around her. And we see that, for example, when she did eye sensitivity, nutrition, jhana factor, and right speech, there are different Vipassana exercise in the tradition. We see increasing in gamma activities, which is showing that the mind become very, very fast when the people doing Vipassana and was able to check on the phenomenology, which is actually happening around this person. Okay, so for less experienced meditators, we look into the microstate. We do the microstate analysis. Let me recap quickly what microstate means. The topography of the brain is actually changing on over the time, as you can see in this picture. But this is not completely continuously. It's keeping stable for 100 milliseconds and change to another one, 100 milliseconds and change to another one. When we do a k-means cluster analysis on that, then we can find 5 dominant maps, which is mostly cover 80% of the entire data. In our meditation research, we focus on 2 microstate maps, the microstate C and microstate, actually D and E, we put it together. So microstate C is actually related to my wandering and autobiographic memory. It can be found in the hippocampus, subnetwork of the default mode network mostly, and it was found to decrease during meditation. On the opposite, the map D and E, which is related to the PCC, the posterocingulate cortex, and the occipital cortex, was found to increase during meditation, which is related to internal attention and self-awareness. So regarding to these 2 maps, we were able to track the mind of the meditators. Mostly, we work very well for beginners and intermediate meditators. It's not going to the deep state, but mostly during the process of practicing meditation. That is what we are working on for now. This is our quantify meditation report. This is an assessment test that we offer to meditators to track and to understand their own practice. We will talk about the main parameter we're using here are past, future, mind wandering, attention and self-awareness, which is related to the microstate, CDE, as we talked previously, and the alpha power for focal or relaxed attention. I will show one of our quantify meditation report here. You can see that this is a graph of showing the meditation section over different section of the meditation. We start with a resting state. Then the person will ask to do a focused visualization on a picture, on event they did in the past. Then we give the people 30-minute time during meditation. And then we have a post-meditation section. Each blue dot here is presenting 5 seconds of meditation. So we were able to track the meditation practice continuously with a very precise precision. This person did a transcendental meditation. This is a meditation practice which is well known in the West, especially in the US. The participant received a mantra from their guru and repeated daily for 20 minutes daily when practicing meditation. And when during this 20 minutes, she tried to catch a gap, a mental gap between us when there's no thoughts, when there's no emotion, there's nothing. And the gap is supposed to be something very deep at the presence moment. What we can see here that the past future mind wandering of microstate C started with a higher value and nicely reduced during the meditation section. Interestingly, that after 20 minutes it bounced back up because she practiced every day for 20 minutes, and after 20 minutes she used to go out of the meditation section. What we can nicely see here, after the 20 minutes, the last 10 minutes she was bouncing back. The attention was increasing nicely during the meditation section, which showing that she increased her attention and self-awareness during the section. And the alpha was also increased most of the time as well, showing that she was quite relaxed when she did the mantra repetition. But there's something interesting here as we found 1 to 3 moments when the alpha getting strongly suppressed. It's related to her report that she got 2 to 3 moments in her practice in her section where she really can be able to catch the gap. So where the mantra stopped and she was sinking deeper into a meditation section, which is nicely can be found here in the alpha and also in some decrease in my wandering parameter as well. So we have recorded over 150 people, and this is a lot of data, a lot of understanding and exchange with meditators. But it's also very inspiring because it's the first time that we were able to look into something very intimate from the people when in their mind when they do something very personal. So and last, we have developed BCI, brain-computer interface, to show these parameters on real time, and we create a meditation challenge where we invite different practitioners come to our challenge. Last month we have a challenge in Geneva. We have 16 participants. We're sitting together, meditating together, and they are spectators from outside watching them performing meditation. I will run a video for you about this meditation section. All right, just give me 1 second of I will try to run this video. I hope it will be coming soon. All right.
Welcome to Switzerland for the inaugural Geneva Meditation Challenge. This is where science and technology meets the quest for the silent mind. The All Here team have got some brilliant ideas when it comes to meditation, so we're in for a fantastic day.
Applying the brain-computer interface, guided by EEG, we can visualize in real time how you're moving from mind wandering towards being present. These things are allowing us to see the proximity. Oh, look at that.
He heavily reduced the activity in the hippocampus. He is actually the highest I have seen today.
And of course, sometimes the alpha bounces because you're not always maintaining you're there, then there's a little bit of a bounce, then you go back again.
So you see how she is going up and up and up and stays constant up there?
That's the very essence of being able to perform under pressure, isn't it?
This was mind-blowing. To see everybody meditating like this in real time, it's unprecedented. I was really emotionally touched because people are doing something really personal, so personal and private. And to see this, it's truly a privilege.
It's been the most fantastic day, absolutely fantastic.
I've been meditating for 21 years and I've never done anything like this. To do it with a group, I really felt that when we were all in it, I felt the energy in the room change.
I thought I'd be distracted and challenged to think about performing, and actually it was a motivation to me.
I actively started to feel and sense the spectators.
It was really nicely organized and the setting is really great and really conducive.
A big thank you to the whole community because it has been wonderful and I really hope to come again.
It was such a cool event, such an interesting visualization of something that's innately difficult to understand.
Somebody asked me earlier on if it was weird to watch people sitting and meditate just like on screens, and it's actually addictive.
Seeing how you can also quantify or measure what happens in their mind, it's captivating to watch what's going on.
Our next challenge will take place in Tokyo. Those of you who would be interested to take part, let us know. It was fabulous to have you. Well, thank you very much.
All right. So yeah, let's let's look forward. We're looking forward to our Tokyo Meditation Challenge on the 1st and the 2nd of October. There we will have a new format. We call it a super challenge format, and we will apply rounds of 3 minutes of meditation. So the questions: can you silence your mind for 3 minutes? All right, thank you. I'm at the end of my web planner talk, and this is our app. So if you are interested on what we are doing, please subscribe for our newsletter, and yeah, maybe I will see one of you in our Tokyo event. Thank you very much for listening.